Greetings everyone, I'm Scott Rodell here at the Great River Taoist Center, and in this episode of Chinese Swords and Swordsmanship we're going to look at 3 ways to respond to an attack from your Daofa. The first way is to turn your waist and deflect, moving the Daofa's sword arm and weapon offline, off target. The second way is to move the target offline. So in this case, instead of moving your Daofa's sword arm, you're moving yourself offline, off target, so the Daofa's weapon cannot hit you. And the third way is to land a blow as your Daofa is preparing to attack, just coming in the distance or well into his cut, so that you incapacitate the arm or the fingers in some way that he cannot deliver his attack, cannot follow through with it. The first way that we're going to respond to the Daofa's attack is by moving it offline, off target. In this case, as he advances and delivers a cut to my left side, turn my waist and countercut. As he delivers that cut, I'm just turning my waist, deflecting with the flat of my blade, turning just enough to take it offline. I'm not looking to push it far away. I'm taking it just enough offline so that it goes to the void, missing my body, but also lines up my countercut and puts me in a good position for a follow-through. Now, if we take a look at that with speed, the second way we're going to respond to a Daofa's attack is by moving the target, by moving ourselves offline. In the first example, I moved the Daofa's weapon and sword arm offline. In this case, I'm moving myself, the target, offline so that his weapon can't strike me. So in this case, if he looks to advance and thrust, for example, I slip to the side. And you see I'm just taking a little bit of a curve around here. So that as he comes in, I see he's going to lunge, I slip to the side, and I deliver a cut at the same time. It's very important when you do this, when you move the target offline, that you're also countercutting at the same time. If he advances with that thrust right to my center, and I slip offline, but I don't do anything with my sword, obviously it'd be very easy for him to follow with another cut. That could be quite devastating. So as he's coming in, I can deliver a P cut to his arm, or the classic is to go straight in with a thrust to the shoulder. And you'll notice I'm not moving a great distance. I'm simply taking a little bit of an arc here, slipping around. It's a small step with the front foot, with the rear foot following up behind. Another real classic example of this would be the ge cut. Let's say, for example, I thrust into my Daofa's sword arm shoulder here, and he deflects, and he sees that opportunity to come underneath here. Right? It might be difficult to deflect in time, but I can turn my waist, withdrawing the target, and at the same time deliver a countercut with this ge technique. So as I come in and I thrust, and he comes in, I turn my waist, I'm withdrawing the target, countercutting to his hand at the same time. If we look at that again with speed, if I come in, I thrust to his shoulder, countercut with a ge to his hand. Again, I didn't simply move the target offline and out of distance. At the same time, the same movement, same turn of the waist, delivered that countercut, that ge blocking cut to the Daofa's sword hand. The third way that we're going to respond to a Daofa, either coming into distance, looking to prepare an attack, or as he's delivering the cut, is to cut the sword arm with an intercepting cut. The real classic example of this would be the tiao or the bung from underneath. So as he's looking to advance and come in, I sink back and cut to his hand from underneath. So you see, if I maybe have done something where I've delivered a cut and my sword happens to be low, he takes advantage of that coming over the top here. May be difficult to turn the waist and deflect in time. But it would be quite easy to simply give him the distance and cut the hand from underneath with a tiao. So if we look at that at speed, as he comes in, I slip back and cut to the fingers from right underneath. Another way that I can incapacitate his arm is that as he's advancing, moving into distance, preparing his attack, as I see him coming in, I take a quick step to the side and countercut to his wrist. And if we look at that again with speed, as my Daofa looks to advance, and then I withdraw back out of distance. So these are the three ways that a swordsman has to respond to a Daofa looking to deliver a cut, or as he's advancing into distance to prepare for an attack. There is no preferred order. It's a matter of what is most efficient and quick and safe for you at the moment the Daofa is advancing or delivering his blow. This is not a premeditated, pre-planned kind of action. You're sticking and following, moving with your Daofa. So don't think of a plan, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Learn to move with your Daofa's action, turning your waist and responding appropriately. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Chinese Swordsman's Swordsmanship and found it useful for your training. If you did, we always appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription. Don't forget to hit that bell so you hear about future videos. And if you would, if you're interested in Chinese swords and swordsmanship, please have a look at the link below for the Academy of Chinese Swordsmanship. Until next time, thanks and 再见.